Here today with Richard Brian. He is the COO of PhotoSurge. They help photographers build professional galleries and portfolios for their business. And since joining Sendblue, PhotoSurge has seen over a double 2x the improvement on their response rates and close to a 30% lift on their show up rates. They're about to have a record month, and Richard is going to tell us all about it. Richard, thanks for hanging out with me.
Dude, thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Thanks for bringing the mustache. Tell us about your
Tell us about that, the mustache.
tell us about your marketing funnel in motion and where Sendblue plugs in.
Yeah, so we have basically two plays with Sendblue. The first one is just for our phone sales guy. He's our setter and our closer. And we do everything from, he mostly focuses on high ticket sales. So we do have like a $2,000 program. We can also sell them an $8,000 photography workshop. So we have the phone sales play, and then we also have the webinar play. And Sendblue has been crucial, especially for the phone sales, but I didn't expect such an increase in what I didn't tell you earlier. Last month, one of our partners, we were doing a webinar, spent a lot of money on this webinar, and that we were testing out this new product. And we were doing it over Zoom, and one of our partners messed up.
Womp womp.
They messed up bad, okay? They did not send anybody who registered a reminder email for the webinar or confirmation email. Luckily, I had the Sendblue workflow plugged in and my automation worked. So we had a 50% show up rate to a live webinar, specifically only using Sendblue, which is insane. Like having a 30% show up rate on a webinar, on a live webinar, is pretty industry standard. We ended up having a 50% show up rate, and it was all thanks to Sendblue because this guy forgot to create this automation for email reminders, which was like crucial. But it was cool to see how valuable it was in action on that. I know I kind of veered off for a second, but I'm tying it back into how
we were talking about a webinar here. Yeah, webinars also 10 out of 10 fantastic use cases for Sendblue.
Insane. Yeah. But the basic workflow is like every day is we have a retargeting campaign that goes to just a standard VSL, page with a survey at the bottom or application. They fill out the application. If they're qualified, they then go to a Calendly where they can book a call. And once they book with Calendly, we send that as a trigger to Sendblue, and they immediately get into our Sendblue workflow. And that's how we confirm people.
And what were the show up rates before using Sendblue, and what are they looking like now?
Yeah, show up rates were literally like 3 out of 10. We were using green bubbles. And after using Sendblue, our response rates are close to 70%. It's like 68%.
Yeah, 68.2%. I'll grab a screen grab and throw it in here.
Yeah. And then our actual show up rate is 7 out of 10 now.
Your iMessage response rate is 82.4%, and your SMS is 20%.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. And so all of that, when you put when those metrics that we just talked about on the back end, what that translates to is we made 3x total revenue from our phone sales. So literally 3x last month alone. Yeah.
That's where that banner month is coming in. So VSL funnels, webinars, you have an iPhone personally?
Yeah.
Has your sales rep shared anything with you about their experience using Sendblue and maybe the quality of conversations and how they've changed?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that actually blew me away on the onboarding call with Sendblue originally was the education. And I actually shared I didn't know it was going to be such a new education into how to even use this, because iMessage is such a different communication channel than just regular green bubble text messages. And, I didn't fully get that because I was coming from using green bubbles and reply to stop and etc. And so I shared the onboarding deck with my closer. And, he looked at it and he had the same realization that I had. And he was like, oh, I get it. Like it's about actually nurturing the client and getting a response from them first, getting them interested, And so, yeah, all the conversations have totally changed, specifically since, using the workflow that you guys actually recommended for us and putting that first in place with the whole entire workflow, like you guys have it, sets the tone for like everything else, all the follow-up. It's just been complete game changer.
especially for photography. I'm looking in here right now. If you have any photos you would like me to review in advance, please, text them. Can you text them here? And people are sending their photos back. And you're using a green bubble provider. That's just going to be a very, 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 very different experience, if an experience at all. Okay, someone's watching this right now. Maybe my sales team sent someone to this video because they're interested in webinars or a VSL funnel, and they have one of those, and they're sitting on the fence about joining Sendblue. What would you say to them?
Oh, it'll pay for itself in the first month and then some. It's not even close. Like it was such a no-brainer for us. Just for me, it all comes down to like, it would have been great if we would have had, better responses and stuff. But ultimately, anytime, like I'm the operator for this company. I've used so many different softwares. I'm constantly trying new softwares, trying to integrate it with our teams. If it ultimately doesn't translate to a better experience for the people using the software, for our team using the software, if it's not simpler and it doesn't translate into actually making us money, and it's not just a cost sink, we wouldn't go with it. And that's why we are choosing to stick with Sendblue with all of our messages, our webinar workflows. Like I'll never go back to using the green bubbles ever again, just because I've seen never. Once you go blue, Sam.
Yeah, what did we do when we protested green bubbles once? We were saying so many crazy different things about going blue. You wrong as a fool if you don't go blue. I don't know.
That's right.
You have to really put, like the last case study I just filmed right before this, we were talking about the frame of mind too, that you have to change when you go from like a green, like your tech, I'm building this workflow in my CRM. I am the business writing this workflow. You really have to you don't have to think long. It's a pretty basic concept to understand when someone points it out to you. And you have to put yourself in that frame of mind of like, oh yeah, I'm a human and so is that person.
Right.
And that's probably what's going to get the deal done is the connection.
Oh, totally. It's the entire, like, you're not sitting behind a keyboard being a marketer being like, okay, I'm going to like send them a marketing message, like, are you ready to buy now? It's like, you're actually nurturing a relationship. And that's the whole change in our communication cycle with our customers is the reason why we 3x'd our revenue last month from our phone sales alone. That's just one department.
Let's go. Okay, maybe someone's still watching and they could benefit from what Photo Search does. This is your time to plug Photo Search.
So yeah, if you're looking for a real certification by somebody who is a legend right now living, and you want to have your photos in galleries, and if you want to be a fine art photographer and you want to be taken seriously, I don't know of any other program. Like, sure, you could go to the New York Institute of Photography or something, spend 4 years, drop $100,000 or whatever it is. You're not going to get the actual data from somebody who's actually successful, meaning they're successfully applying what they know and being a success as a photographer and teaching you how to do the same. So yeah, it's the best option.
The best option. Richard Brien, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.